Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. It is good to see you. Come September, April will be forgotten. Pahalgam will be forgotten. The 26 Indian citizens who lost their lives will be forgotten. Operation Sindoor will be forgotten. All will be forgotten and forgiven at the altar of cricket. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now almost certain that India will not just host the Asia Cup, it will also play arch rivals Pakistan in at least one match. Now, the BCCI, yes, is yet to officially confirm the decision, but it has not denied it either. The Pakistan Cricket Board, though, has had no such qualms after the Asian Cricket Council meet in Dhaka, which was attended by BCCI. Its chairperson, Mohsin Naqvi, confirmed that all sides want to keep politics out of cricket and that the BCCI will be announcing the schedule soon. So the PCB is very confident that the Asia Cup is not just going ahead, but India is going to be playing Pakistan as well. So by the looks of it, the BCCI has got the green signal to host the Asia Cup and as a result, play Pakistan. But to manage the political optics, it has been decided that the tournament will be held at a neutral venue, Dubai and Abu Dhabi. Consider this, Pakistani terrorists or sponsored terrorists enter India. They kill 26 of our people in India and go back to their safe shelter in Pakistan. And so we decide it's not okay to play Pakistan in India, but it's okay to play Pakistan in Dubai and Abu Dhabi. How? How is it okay? How does changing the venue of a match or a tournament with Terroristan make it okay? How is it not okay to play in a bilateral but play in multilateral tournaments? What sort of logic is that? Ladies and gentlemen, is public memory this short that we forget the pain that was inflicted on us just 3 months ago? Not 3 years ago, just 3 months ago. Many of us may feel outraged, but it looks like the grounds were already being laid for an indo-pak cricket clash for the last couple of weeks. First, the government of India cleared the way for Pakistan hockey team to participate in the Asia Cup in Bihar and the Junior World Cup in Tamil Nadu. Of course, cricket had to be next. And of course, by the end of it, it is all about money. If you look at just the broadcasting rights of the Asia Cup, you're looking at $170 million for 8 years. Then, of course, there are sponsors who spend millions largely to see an indo-pak final. Without India, ladies and gentlemen, the Asia Cup loses its sheen and Pakistan's cricket board loses its revenue. So what? Is cricket over country? Is profit over Pahalgam? Ladies and gentlemen, the justification from the sports mandarins is this. If India wants to make a serious bid for the 2036 Olympics, we need to play by the rules of the Olympic Charter. And the rules are clear. You cannot exclude athletes on racial, religious or political reasons, or you will lose your hosting rights. Again, I ask, is the Olympics above India? My guests this evening, ladies and gentlemen, have very strong views on the subject. So do I. I thank all of them for joining us. Bimal Soni is a former manager of the Indian cricket team joining us on the broadcast. Mr. Soni, thank you very much. Ranjit Bajaj joining us on the broadcast, old friend of Times Now. Thank you very much. Sushant Sareen is a senior fellow at ORF. Thank you very much. And Joseph Hoover is a cricket writer joining us on the broadcast. Sushant Sareen, is our public memory this short?
Shreya, you're asking a question whose answer you already know. Indians have memories of goldfish. Indians have forgotten partition and the horrors that accompanied partition. We forget everything, right? So yes, we have very short memories, and we also have short memories because the Indian public, by and large, especially the middle class, feels that, let somebody else die. Some soldier is somebody else's kid, somebody else's husband, father. It's not our person who's dying. So how does it matter? And that is the attitude which colors the mind of people who like to watch India-Pakistan matches. I don't. Uh, that is as far as public memory is concerned. Because public memory is short, then there are the sharks, and I have a lot of respect for BCCI. I think it's a fabulous organization, but it does certain things which make you want to criticize them, and this India-Pakistan angle is one of those. So then you have these sharks in BCCI who want to do these matches because they will make some $50-60 million. Now, you said $170 million over 8 years. Do the math. Yeah, it's like $20 million a year. What is $20 million for BCCI? I just saw figures yesterday that almost 70% or 80% of BCCI revenues come from IPL now.
Correct.
IPL does not have a single Pakistani. Thank God for that, right? And yet IPL makes so much money. Why do you think that only when India plays Pakistan does BCCI or the broadcasters make money? Any place where the Indian team will play will make money. So the point is that for one match, if you are going to put your entire national policy at stake, and you will have a government sitting in Delhi which is not going to put its foot down and which will refuse to have a policy. You know, I'll just take half a minute more, Shreya. You just said about the hockey matches, about Olympics, about all of that. One, on Olympics. When they boycott Russia, when they boycott Russian athletes, or they say Russian athletes can come but not under the Russian flag, we can say that yes, Asia Cup will play, Pakistani players can come but not under Pakistani flag. So there are ways to work around. Secondly, this nonsense which has been spread that sports and politics should not mix. Please tell me, where has this come from? The very first big sporting event of ancient history, the Olympics and the marathon, is a political event. It was a political event, right? So what are we talking about? This nonsense which goes around that no, sports and politics should not mix. So we need to have a clear policy that either we will not play Pakistan no matter what. If we are holding a tournament in India and we have to hold our nose to call Pakistan, we will not allow any Pakistani other than the most important people who have to come and play. We will not allow anybody to come, and we will not play with them, even if we are going to dock our points. I would go to the extent of saying, even if I'm in a World Cup final and my opponent is Pakistan, I will boycott that match. That is my position. Other people, because this is a free country, are free to have their own opinions.
Yeah, people do have their own opinions. Bimal Soni, the fact is that after the Mumbai blast in 2008, it was this very BCCI that said, okay, we are not going to take any players from Pakistan in the IPL. They made their stand clear. They've stuck to their stand. But otherwise, when it comes to cricketing ties with Pakistan, we seem to be a bit schizophrenic. Blast hota hai, terror attack hota hai, we decide to withdraw, you know, from any event that is playing Pakistan or ban them from coming into our country. Then after some time we forget. Like in this case, in 3 months we have forgotten. Please tell me one good reason why the BCCI should allow Pakistan to participate in the Asia Cup. We are the hosts, right? We are the hosts. We can say we will host it. We will host it in our very country, and we don't want the Pakistanis here.
Well, I have only one thing to say. This is a prerogative which has to be decided at the international conference, the body which controls cricket, then BCCI, and of course government. They should have done this exercise much earlier on, and they have to take a call. This is a political call. I am a sportsman. Cricketers from Pakistan are sportsmen. They are not those terrorists. But at the same time, country is primary. So if country policymakers decide that we should not call them, or we should even leave Asia Cup hosting, I am with them. But it has to be a decision from the government. We cricketers, we fellow sportsmen cannot take this decision. At the same time, same is the condition with cricketers who are playing for Pakistan. So this is a policy decision which the government should take, and whether permit or not, or whether play or not, is today a decision which BCCI should confirm from government and take it. I am very clear, as sportsmen, we are not responsible. Of course, I agree that Pakistan is a terrorist state. Whether we have to play them or not is a policy decision. But at the same time, not all cricketers, not all sportsmen are involved in this kind of
No.
work.
Here's the point, Mr. Bimal Soni, I understand that, but here's what I don't understand. Cricketers are Indian citizens as well, right? On something like terror, even they need to take a stand. Just wearing a black armband during an IPL final doesn't mean you're taking a stand against terror. If you have to take a stand against terror, if you have to take a stand against 28 of your citizens being killed, you need to tell your board, we are not playing them. Simple. If a Virat Kohli tells BCCI, we don't want to play them, we don't want to play the Pakistanis, beyond a point, what will the board be able to do?
Of course, we will not play them. But that is what some of the cricketers did when they said we will not play this. But at the same time, this is a decision which the government should take.
Joseph, okay.
This is a decision that BCCI officials should take.
Okay, Joseph Hoover, the point is, if the BCCI goes ahead with an India-Pakistan clash at the Asia Cup, the venue may be neutral. The fact is that it is a political decision. On that point, I think I agree with Bimal Soni completely. My point is, what are we even trying to do? What has been India's policy all along when it comes to Pakistan and talks with Pakistan? That terror and talks cannot go together. So terror and talks cannot go together, but terror and cricket can go together.
Yes, Shreya. I get where you're going to, where you're coming from. But my perspective here is very simple. When we take a call saying that we're not going to play Pakistan at home, we don't play them anywhere else as well. We don't go to Pakistan, Pakistan won't come and play in India. Whether you play in Timbuktu or Dubai or UAE, we don't want to play them. We should not play.
Correct.
When people talk about a political decision, it is the board, the current set of office bearers are run by the politicians. If you look, who is the ICC chairman now? ICC chairman is Jay Shah. So Jay Shah should be responsible. He should be saying, no, this is not going to be happening. And why on earth should anybody attend the meeting when you know that people are hurting? 26 of our brethren have been killed, and the country is aching, we are hurting, and we know what the Pakistan has been doing time and again. Terrorists, they have been fueling terrorists, they have been sponsoring terrorists, and they want this to be happening over and over again. And the shameful BCCI goes and agrees, and they talk about the ACC not getting money, other countries will suffer. Who the hell is worried about money? We are talking about life. We are losing our brothers and sisters. We are losing our soldiers because of these terrorists. BCCI thinks if we don't play, there's no money. Other Asian countries, Asian Cricket Council countries will suffer.
Why should it even bother us?
Yeah,
whether the Pakistani Cricket Board is starved of funds or not, why should that bother us? Beyond the point, if it comes to playing Pakistan or letting Pakistan come to your country and their players come to your country, I think we shouldn't bother about the Olympics as well, Sushant Sareen. Why should we? Nahi mile bid 2036 ki, fine, okay, nahi chahiye.
Yeah, we haven't got Olympics coming into India for what, 150 years? It doesn't come for another 50 years. I don't care. Frankly, it's not my issue whether Olympics comes or not. Secondly, I think purely, and I agree, I understand where Mr. Soni is coming from, and I understand where Mr. Hoover is coming from. That is exactly my point. Have a policy, have a clear-cut policy that we will not play with them. Now, if we want to hold a tournament and we have to hold our noses and invite Pakistan in, then we will let the bare minimum, bunch of Pakistanis come in. No journalists, nobody else will be allowed. They come in, they play their matches. If the draw is that we have to play against them, we will boycott it. We will not play that match. Now, this is if we want to hold tournaments in India. If we don't want to hold tournaments in India, we don't even have to do that. This whole nonsense that now we will go and play in a third country, I don't think, I agree with the other people on the panel that, that is as bad as playing in India or going to Pakistan and playing. And the point, Shreya, you also made that point, that, if you're not going to play against them, you should not play against them anywhere.
Correct.
But to say that we will play against them in Australia or in England, but we will not play against them in India or in Pakistan, that's utter nonsense. That's being disingenuous. And we will play in Dubai. Why in Dubai? For what? So I think there needs to be a clearly well thought out policy insofar as Pakistan is concerned. If that means that we have to pay a certain price for it, be ready to pay a price for it. If soldiers can give their lives, if there are other people who can lose their lives because they're on the front and they have to tackle or have to suffer their, problems coming from terrorism, then why can't people sitting in the comfort of Delhi and Bombay or Bangalore also, give some sacrifice for this cause? Why not?
It's hardly a sacrifice. Nahi hoga Asia Cup, big deal. It has not happened in 1986. India has boycotted an Asia Cup in 1986. Of course, the reason was not Pakistan, the reason was Sri Lanka. But we have boycotted an Asia Cup, Ranjit Bajaj. And what is this logic and justification that is being given to us by sports mandarins in the sports ministry? That, because it is Pakistan and we have not played a bilateral with Pakistan since 2012. But, neutral venue mein khel sakte hain. We can play in a neutral venue. That way, we don't have to travel to Pakistan and Pakistan doesn't have to travel to India. How does that make it better? Why play them at all anywhere?
Good evening, Shreya ma'am. Thank you so much. First of all, yes, with Mr. Serene and obviously with Mr. Hoover, always thinks like me. I would even go a step further. We've got our priorities misplaced. I think you have to understand, if there was no people protecting us at the border, there would be no cricket, there would be no schools, there would be no education, there would be nothing. You would not be able to sleep at night, you would not be able to go to work. Your kids would be getting shelled by those Pakistanis who are actually getting the money from PCB. The head of PCB is appointed by the head of the generals there. Where do you think all the money from every single account goes from Pakistan to the army? And where do you think the army keeps on spending the money? To these terrorists. So if you really think there's no great connection, there's a direct connection. Javed Miadad's is actually the Sambandhi of Dawood Ibrahim. That's how deep the connection is. That means his son is married to Javed's daughter. So that, I mean, how close do you want the connection to be between the terrorists and them? Dawood Ibrahim and Javed Miadad, the greats of Pakistan cricket. So that's with Mr. Soni saying that cricketers are not there, he's a terrorist himself. If you go and see Shahid Afridi's page timeline and look at the way he talks about Indians and the way he's been spitting venom against us, forget about playing them. We should boycott them at everything, and we should be burning Pakistani flags and Pakistani shirts at every occasion we get. Even if in a match we're not playing against them. See, ma'am, rivals are, you have good rivalries with people who are equals. People who have the same values as us, people who have the same respect as us, and people obviously who are equal to us, and even in the sports field, if you go by the sporting merit. Every time we play them, we thrash them. So it's enough of thrashing them. We thrash them everywhere. We thrash them on the border. We thrash them on the sports field. But they don't learn their lesson. So we need to make sure we put our foot down like we did. All the wars did not have the water stopped. But this incident was the last straw on the camel's back. Please understand what the last straw on the camel's back means. It was the last straw. You cannot do anything after that. So either start putting the water also to them. You can drive them thirsty, but you still want to play cricket with them. So priorities are really misplaced in this country, where cricket is as something like a religion. And Mr. Hoover keeps on saying that it takes over some of our emotions, which we don't think straight.
Bimal Soni, you started by saying that I'm a cricketer and cricketers have very little to do with it. Look at what has happened barely 10 days ago. Barely 10 days ago, there are retired top-end players from India and Pakistan who are supposed to play this charity match in England, right? There is huge public outcry here in India. That event, by the way, is not even a BCCI event. It is just a private event. Ajay Devgan is the one who is actually hosting it. There is a massive outcry in this country, major outcry in this country. and that tournament is scrapped because Indian cricketers retired say nahi bhaiya hum logon ko nahi khelna. I want to ask you why Indian cricketers who are currently in Team India not do the same thing.
I'm sorry, all of them have a same attitude. They don't want to play. And I am telling you, this is the decision which has to be taken by BCCI. What you are taking is individual cricketers. I am not saying that we should play Pakistan, but I am saying this is a decision with Indian government and BCCI should take, rather than leave it on we fellow cricketers. I am very clear. Sportsmen are different, but if India, Pakistan are having this kind of stalemate, we should follow first our conscience, don't play. Many have said they will not play, but at the same time, we are discussing here, I would not like to criticize or talk, but I would like to say that BCCI and Indian government should take a strong decision on the issue.
Ultimately, Sushant Sareen, we all have to agree this is a political decision. This is a decision that has been taken by the government of India. Are you surprised that there is very little outrage over it? Because, I saw outrage when retired cricketers were playing each other in England. And it is because of that outrage that the match got scrapped and Indian cricketers said, I'm not playing. There is so much outrage over Pakistani actors in Indian films. I hardly see the outrage here. The BCCI is not saying anything right now. The schedule is not out. I get that. But it's almost confirmed that the Asia Cup is going ahead.
So I think, Shreya, yesterday it was reported, and I think it was reported only in the Pakistani press, that the Asia Cup is going ahead. Today, it seems that things are not as simple as what the Pakistanis were making it out to be. So I'll just hold on to see whether Asia Cup is actually going ahead or not, number one. Number two, personally, I think, yes, a lot of people are going to be outraged, and I completely agree with you. At the end of the day, this is very convenient for the government of the day to push its responsibilities onto BCCI. BCCI pushing its responsibilities onto ICC. ICC saying that, look, we are helpless. This is an international tournament, etc., etc. Everybody is being disingenuous in this. So the government has to have a very clear-cut policy on what kind of sporting relations, and it's not just limited to cricket. It's hockey, it's volleyball, it's kabaddi, you name the sport, right? It should be across the board that we are going to boycott this terrorist country, this rabidly, these rabid fanatics. We are not going to play with them. We are not, because look, Shreya, the point is, if we are going to be ready to play with them, then with what face are we going to go to the rest of the world and tell them that, look, this is a country which is full of fanatics, this is a country which is full of rabid, people, and these are not people that any civilized people should associate with. Now, our friend Ranjit was talking about Shahid Afridi. He's talking about a whole lot of other cricketers. You just need to go onto their television screens. You just need to see what are the kind of venom many of their serving and retired cricketers spread. You had the example of that third-rate fellow Waqar Yunus, didn't you? That it was great to see a Muslim praying in the middle of all these Hindus. What is he trying to say? That this is some kind of Mahmood of Ghazni who has come and played cricket in India? Which is what Waqar Yunus's mind was. He then apologized because he thought, his contracts will run out. He will not be able to do commentary elsewhere, stuff like that. But the point is, it tells you about the mindset of these lowlifes and why should India then associate with them? And not just, like I said, it's not just about cricket. It's across the board.
Joseph Hoover, I just have 30 seconds. Can the BCCI really get away with saying ICC rules, ACC behave, we have to take everyone along, etc.? Would you quickly want to tell our viewers that when it comes to international cricket, BCCI is the dada? They rule international cricket. तो बेचारा बनने की कोई जरूरत ही नहीं है हम लोगों के सामने.
जो BCCI बोलेगा वही होगा. When we have such a scenario, why on earth should we agree to play Pakistan? We have to take a stance and say sorry. And here again, it reflects on a government. When it comes to an election, there's a war. then they throw all kind of tantrums. But when this comes to some kind of a bye-bye, they say, okay, we can play, they can come and play in India, they can play in Bihar, they can play in Chennai. This is not on. Both the BCCI and the government need to be held responsible for this, because we as citizens, we are hurting. Our brothers and sisters have died, our soldiers have died. Who on earth wants to play Pakistan? We don't want to play them. We want our people to be safe. We want to be a country with a lot of peace. We want to be prosperous. We want to help our neighbors, but not terrorists, please. No,
Okay.
should not play them.
Mr. Hoover, you and I and all the 4 panelists may not want India to play Pakistan, but it certainly seems that the BCCI wants India to play Pakistan. And they think they can get away by saying that we are not playing in India, we are not playing in Pakistan, we are playing in Dubai and Abu Dhabi. I don't know how that makes it better. We leave it there for the moment. Thank you very much. It has been 24 hours. The BCCI has not confirmed or denied whether India is going ahead with hosting the Asia Cup with Pakistan participating. We'll wait for that confirmation when it comes. Bimal Soni, thank you very much for your time here on Times Now. Ranjit Bajaj, thank you very much. Sushant Sareen, thank you. And Joseph Hoover, thank you very much. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, a break. There's lots more on the other side. Do stay with us.